You and me are not the same. Worth the pain just to make you sweat. You try to tell me that you're over it, yeah. You know I love you, you know I love you. You got something to say. Take me undercover. You'll be my cannibal lover. Blood red lips screaming. Take me undercover. You'll be my cannibal lover. Blood red lips screaming. Red hot blood for the summer. Tear me up, cannibal lover. Red hot blood for the summer. Tear me up, cannibal Take me undercover. Take me undercover. You'll be my cannibal lover. Blood red lips screaming.
Starting in 9 minutes.
Have 5? No, well, if you want to, but we don't need you till 12:30. Okay.
Horário de família, toma da sala para Cabo Verde, através do Serviço de Sala Internacional SOMWR. Uma que pode fazer através de Ring.com, ou pode fazer através de mobilecharge.com, ou pode localizar pontos de venda que está disponível no país que você está.
Saldo internacional da CV Móvel.
Fica ligado.
The board feels great. It's kind of a bigger waveboard and helps you out a lot on passing the white waters, passing the waves, and like going against the current. In these side onshore conditions, when it's light winds, I'm struggling to do that because of my weight, and on this I felt it's super easy. So I think it's perfect for people to start learning how to wave sail and to jump and wave ride.
We want to make wave riding accessible to everyone in any conditions. Do you want to wave ride even if the wind is light and the currents are strong? The Code 2022 is a free wave board like no other. With volumes ranging from 85 all the way up to 135 liters. This year we have increased the area behind the fin. This gets you lifted up to speed even quicker. To balance it out, we also increased nose area, which creates a smooth ride in choppy waters. And by adding curvature around the foot straps, the new codes improve greatly in maneuverability during bottom turns and power jibes. The 115, 125 and 135 are the best large waveboards we ever made. With a compact shape and thin rails, you'll enjoy tricky conditions and ride more waves, always with enough flotation under your feet.
In the turns you keep a lot of drive, so you don't really slow down even when the wind gets a little bit patchy. And then it's super nice to have big wave boards like that, like for heavy riders like me, to have a lot of flotation and still be able to wave ride in light wind. It's really, really nice.
The 2022 codes come with two fin setups. With the thruster fins you get the most wave performance. But once you switch around to the larger single fin, the board turns into an agile freeride board. More drive, increased agility and quicker. The new 2022 codes are a significant step forward. Are we promising too much? Come and try for yourself.
It's somewhere.
Somewhere?
Somewhere.
Somewhere? Somewhere.
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 And become a future fighter.
Yeah, I'm actually a field fighter.
Good.
The Ultra Code. Our wild waveboard comes either with 5 fin boxes, allowing you to choose a different setup for varying conditions, or as Thruster Edition, making it the lightest waveboard we've ever made. A total of 7 sizes are available in Carbon Reflex, a technology with an industry-leading track record of only 1 board broken per 100 boards sold. The thin rails and slight tail kick provide the Ultra Codes with plenty of grip while carving through your turns. The concave bottom shapes allow for quick rail-to-rail transitions, while the shallow tail allows for faster turns. The compact board design gives plenty of control in strong winds and while jumping and flying through the air.
The board is very fast, so it's super easy for jumping. It's very stable. And for surfing also, it's a nice board because you can lean forward and do a nice bottom turn and push a lot in the top turn.
Thick white water, currents, and dodgy wind conditions often slow us down in the wrong moments. But with its fast rocker line combined with an extra thick center line, we ensure the Ultra Code picks up speed quickly. We designed it so you never have to miss a wave and can set up for the next jump even if you have to cross some white water to get to that perfect ramp.
Feels so comfortable either for jumping or for wave riding. When you want to change the rail into the top turn, you don't lose speed and the fins you can release it really well. Also in the jump, you can go really high because the board's shape.
The 2022 Ultra Code is wild, light, and sturdy. Come and ride your next wave with us.
The struggle is real at Punta Preta. Welcome back to the 2022 SOMWR PWA Cabo Verde Pro World Cup. Kaicatcher Doreen, Flycatcher, bringing it to you live. And there you see it. You sail Punta Preta, you visit the rocks. It's kind of your way of getting in quickly. But I think Ricardo and Coster there are just paying some good old-fashioned dues, and very nice job clearing your mast tips there for all of you watching at home. Never, ever, ever, ever let that incoming wave catch your mast tip, or you are dealing with a yard sail. All right, well, this is kind of a little backdrop to what will be day 3 of competition here. Earlier in the week, we completed round 1 in very fun, contestable-looking Punta Preta. Leading up to last night's decision on when to hold a skippers meeting, last couple days were flat with no action. And there was a bit of a roundtable debate what was going to happen today. And several people thought there was no chance. Myself, I had kind of seen today as another possibility, based on your standards of what you consider good or not good. Punta Preta's breaking, and we have a contest to finish here. We have a very good forecast as well. I think today serves as an indication that the incoming forecast is definitely showing some very good potential, to say the least. And what we're going to try to accomplish here is at least the first heat of the double. Head-high sets maybe a little bit bigger coming in here, as you see Ricardo walking back to his truck, Coster and his caddy walking back to their rigging area. Coster is not in this next heat. He is, however, at the bottom of this first round, and that is just unfamiliar territory for our multiple world champion, and he is more than just motivated to get back into the mix here and more than capable of it. I was speaking to Duncan Coombs as we were standing on the point. Head Judge Duncan turned to me, and he was looking at Philip sealing out, and he said, but this situation just played right into his hands. It got windy. It's kind of a nature of what we've seen him be able to perform at places like Little Huquipa, pulling perfect takas and goiters. So the performance threshold on this is pretty big because you can go for some pretty risky stuff on smaller waves. We really won't hesitate to call off heats if they're just below average. And there's really only been one set that you saw, which was somebody ducking under it. We haven't really seen a rider get on a good wave, but there are good waves coming in. And as you see, it's windy. And another part of Duncan and my conversation based on that, as this heat has now started, and it's Ishii, Grangio. We can get that up on the screen, please, the heat itself. Takara Ishii is going to open up shop. Runes, Grangio, Flechet, and Ishii. And what you see here is Ishii on a little screen. There's nobody else in action here. Ishii skies an aerial. This is a good start for him. His warm-up, he must have gone on the rocks 5 times. So he's not worried about that, and he's not going to do an aerial onto the rocks, is he? Well, make that 6 times. The thing is, though, and what he did learn, is you do a little graze here. Graze the rocks. It's north enough swell. The door's open. You don't need to go on the rocks when you're down here. He's going to, deal with one whitewater on the head here. And that's dry rock, so you just hang onto your rig as hard as you can. You duck dove the wave, so to speak. And then you just kind of rock crab your way out. Door's wide open, he's done. Ordeal over. When it's bigger and more west, you'd have never gotten away with that. But the swell is so north here that what we're seeing is most of the action going on the upper reef of Punta Preta. Here's Runes. And I would say he's on a mid-level wave with a good lower section that you don't see on your screen. Runes has every reason to want to ride this wave. And it takes shape as it hits the upper part of the reef. A north wall for Runes with the fade line bottom turn, much like his teammate Tomas Traversa likes to do. We've got 1-2 here, so Flechet behind him. Runes with some good rail work. This cat can sail really well. I was thinking that Traversa had Runes, yeah, they're high, a little bit hard, from a distance, I should say. I know they sail very well, both of them. There's Grangiol, kind of getting the lesser of the exchange of these waves, but still able to do some work. Gets in the floater line, doesn't quite get back in. And you might have been staring at a few rocks as well. Anything under head high is breaking right on him. You got to get on the train downtown there. So the occasional nug. And you don't really want to get in heats where there's only one wave in a set. So I know Duncan's watching that as well, as we now have drone angle for you. We've done a little bit of upgrading, bringing in some modern technology here for you. And it's nice to be able to show you the bottom contour of Punta Preta from the sky. I'm getting a lot out of this too, and you can see the fingers of reef that are mixed in up and down the point in these sections. You know, it makes sense to me now how waves behave here. This is fascinating to look at. And you can study this place, but when it breaks from the upper part to the shore break, truly one of the wonders of the world. No doubt about it. Punta Preta ranked like 81 on the world's 100 best waves. That's saying something. This place on its day is world class, no question. And it might not be world class today. And Duncan is calling 40-minute heats, and he won't hesitate to both call this off or count it if the action is sufficient. We don't have scores yet. Maybe we can take a look at who's on the board here. Thank you very much. There you go. Ishii in front with a 4.38, a modest score. Runes with a 2.88 that might have been a little better. With just, you know, a different plan on the wave. Fléché 2.12, and Granguillot getting a 1.38. So these are scores, not great scores. We got a lot of time. This definitely ain't Posa where you can get your heat tally in 30 seconds and come in. Granted, you know, it's not 50 knots. It's more like 15 knots. Most guys are on 5.0s. I sailed on a 5.3 when I was out there, morning session. Flying by Carter there. JC was in the water for quite a while. Very familiar territory for him. It'd be nice to have a water angle. I won't get ahead of myself. What you see in the top right-hand corner of your screen, keep it right here on the drone. That's Monteleo. What I'm going to explain to you next is some of the dynamics of Punta Preta itself. Monteleo sits to the northwest of Punta Preta. We're on the southwest corner of the island. Keep it right there. And you see Monteleo, and that is very important because that's what allows Punta Preta to break. Any swell that has enough west in it to get in, or enough swell period if it's more north. And we're looking at two different swells. There's a background swell somewhere around 345 degrees at about 3 foot, 14 seconds. And then there's tomorrow's swell, which is more north and on a much longer period. All right, Fléché getting through his first ride. Runes on an outside. This is really how you should do it. Now we're not missing anything. This is the science behind it. And Runes really sets up. You see a point break. Likes to run foul on you. Runes waited a little long there. And now he's got his ordeal, though. He should just hang on and duck dive. He'll be fine. He looks pissed. Nobody wants to go through that in heat. Granguillot, good opportunity, but maybe a little bit out of sync and not in the spot and too small of a wave. It's not breaking all the way through. The swell's more north. So the product of this right now, and we have kind of put ourselves in this high tide window, but they are neap tides. There's not a huge difference between high and low. It's a sensitive spot, though, and what we might be seeing is a lot of the sets that we were seeing earlier are kind of getting washed out as the tide goes higher. Duncan wanted to try a heat, felt compelled to. There were a lot of conditions about half an hour ago. I totally agree with the decision. It's not as good right now, unfortunately. And as you're going to see, this place turns on and off. Fléché getting into the game because he's got two waves behind him. 4.5 is his heat total to 4.6 for Ishii. You know, both Sugi and Ishii are just going to follow this tour very closely. I was talking to Sugi, and, you know, ask him, so when are you going to show up in Poso? How long do you go sail for? And he's like, 3 months, which is an answer that really means one thing and one thing only, is that he's gunning for a world title. Anyway, let's have a couple replays. Show you who's in the game and how it looks. Ishii. Subtle rail work and really got the lip throw there. Yeah. Keeping the board active, like the board length and how that fits into the crevice of this small half pipe. Runes. Kind of on a runner there. Not quite the same as the other day when it was running because it's smaller. Okay, this is live. Yeah, and that's live on the drone. You're looking from up top. And that's Runes into the pit. And I think Duncan's going to be patient. He's really going to give these competitors a chance to break into it. What you do see is a level of consistency. I mean, it's not these long lulls of absolutely nothing. And every now and then, I'm telling you, there's a near logo high wave coming in that looks really good. Woo! Okay, there'll be another scoring salvo here. Let's not overdo the score checking, but, you know, we'll check in with it. That was Flechet, who now, you know, has to do the deal. Great view of it. Yeah, door's open. Sail right on out. Yeah, wind got lighter. It didn't really change direction. It's had this northerly angle to it, which also makes a smaller day like this totally approachable because it's not too offshore. The judges certainly had their opinion about, you know, what the bare minimums are here. And you know, you look at Musso and a few of the others as well, Emilio. And, you know, they're sailors. They understand perfectly, you know, where the line is drawn. There's really no use in not trying. Happy to bring this to you live here at the 2022 SOMWR PWA Cabo Verde Pro. Round one of the double elimination. And what that means for all of you at home following is that this is the knockout round, sudden death, if you will. If you're not in first or second position, your contest's over. And you might as well join these people here watching from the rocks, because the lineup will be occupado until the event's over. Interesting to look at it from the air, and I'm looking at it from land, and maybe that, you know, keep the land angle to put the wave size up, but there's really not been a lot coming in this heat, no two ways about it. 30 minutes in, a little bit more, and I think the ethic right now is run a heat, see if it counts. All of you watching at home, welcome to chime in. Dunkerbeck just came up and said hi. I was about to drag him up here. I think I might have to. But we'll hold off. He's definitely also helping his son Liam, who's in a later round heat, having passed through a round, which is a big accomplishment for him. Okay, a big gust of wind just blew a big dirt ball there on the beach. This tells me that it's getting a little windier again. You see the direction. It blows off land. So there's Monteleo again. Kind of looks like the Sphinx or something. And it's interesting on Sol that it's kind of like Maui in a way. It's the windiest island in the chain here in Cape Verde. And it's got a couple, you know, wind creators too. How Maui has Haleakala and West Maui working for it, which turns a typical 15-knot trade wind into 25 knots on a daily basis. Sol also acts as a trade wind somewhat. And here is an exchange, very interesting. Grand Guillaume on the first wave, doing the rail work, keeping his body low, finishing up his ride. Bottom turn for Flechet, main player in the screen, no one else on a wave. Gets his, you know, you wrap that one around. You see Punta Preta right now, waking up a little bit again. Wake up. Yeah. Runes on a good one. Tries to fade into his bottom turn, but I don't think he's going to get caught from behind again. And he starts speeding down to the bottom part of the peak here and slices that cut back under. Little more action here. Runes getting into the game. This is going to help his campaign big time. Takara Ishii on the outside. Very good. Very nice way for him. Gets the cut back around, which is not an easy thing to do here. That was a really nice cut back. straight up martial arts ripping. Hand-to-hand combat, rail-to-rail combat. That's going to be a great replay, but we can't go to replay because we've got Flichet tacking out. Maybe we do have some time for replay right now, as we are at Punta Preta in beautiful Cabo Verde. And the feeling of being here is one of anticipation for sure with what we've seen on the charts, some conditions coming. And today certainly surprised us with its opportunity to keep going in this contest. You really cannot not try to do something in this situation. Punta Preta's pretty rare bird. It's not a 365-day-a-year spot. Granted, I'll hear anybody's opinion who thinks this shouldn't be counting. And there will be arguments both ways. I'm definitely glass half full right now. That last exchange will look good on replay. Let's try some replay. There we go. There's Ishii. This is going to be real work. And right there with the air, this isn't the one with the real rail work, though. This is another one. As you see, Grangio dealing with it. Here's Grangio. Yeah, we've got some water displacement. Keep the replays coming. There's no action live. Runez. This was a good way for him, and not to be lost on me is some really solid rail work of his own. It's rare to get the board wrapped around all the way. He did it twice there. Those were good turns. Yeah. All right. We've got action, and it's Runez live and direct. He kicks out. I think he sees the corduroy coming behind him. Now, none other. And Grangio had a wave. Yes, this is a 1-2 exchange. Flichet and Grangio. Grangio first. He's been on the first wave of the set every set. And that time it really, really hurt him. There's two good waves outside of him. Flichet. You know, not as much of a fade line. That was a one-handed cutback, though. Pretty stylish. Ishii outside of Flichet. Flichet's out. One good turn. No other action, and that's kind of it right now. These type of exchanges. Curious as to what Duncan thinks about it. It's certainly not the exchange of wind and swell that we saw, you know, leading up to the decision to run, which was now a full hour ago. This place, you know, a little 15 minutes, half hour transforms a lot. It's a lot due to the tide, but it's also because of that swell exposure. And as swells pick up here, sometimes they start a little more northwest and veer north. And I can't guarantee you on a normal day I would necessarily be here at Punta Preta with what else is on the menu. I'll just tell you that. The reality is, being able to bring you this event, logistically speaking, we've made the decision just about at all costs to stay here. And you're going to see that pay off because we will not overemphasize this. This is the first round of the double. And at that point, you know, you can finish this heat and make a decision. You can finish this round and make a decision. We are lucky this isn't the last day when things start getting forced. We're really lucky how this competition started to get us to this point because it's allowed us the luxury to try. Grangio sitting in fourth, 3.12 heat total. Flichet with a 5.5 total. Runez, nice even 7. And Ishii scratching into the 10-point range. He's almost double-digit heat total. Pair of mid-4s, something like that. Take a look at my phone and give you actual scores. That way we can tell who needs what to leapfrog to the other position. Ishii 4.38 and a 4.62. 3.0 and 4.0. Runes. 2.38. 3.12 for Flachet. Flachet, you know, he's a 5 away from getting into this. And like I said, this is sudden death. It's kind of hard to show real urgency in these type of conditions. Has a little bit more to do when you see Flachet do a little back to sail, is like he's kind of going, come on. We're not doing this, right? There's a little bit of a feeling like that. But right as he does that, I'm looking outside at Punta Preta, and there's another set coming in. And there's enough wind for anybody who wants it to get it. About a head-high set, 2 waves coming in. Flachet's on the first one. So he saw that coming. The back to sail is to get more upwind. That was a pretty good move. Flachet's on one of the better waves he's been in this heat. This is a big moment for him, with all the marbles on the table. Takes aim. Ishii behind him. Flachet getting it done. He's got more. Runs through the shallow section. Hoppity skippity. Little bit through the rocks. Is there more? Ishii deep. And before he gets his 7th rock tour, he's going to kick out. Because that wave would have put him on the rocks. He wouldn't get away from that. And after a while, you really do absorb that as Runes kicks out. 20 minutes to go. So, yeah, you know, Josh and I sail a lot of days at Punta Preta like this. And it's, you know, when 2 guys are out, you can kind of pick the better waves. And granted, you know, it's fun. We're running a contest here at the highest level, so there has to be a standard of what these scores are. I'll tell you, between Flachet, Runes, and Ishii, there's some scores. I think Grand Guillaume's kind of, you know, victimized himself by always going the first wave of the set. And, you know, he's gotten on waves too. I get the feeling Duncan will count this, but he's also going to look at the whole glass half full mentality. And you don't want to assume that it's just going to get a whole lot better today. But, you know, let's leave some room for it, too, because I think we've kind of seen what a heat like this puts you at the bare minimum of what we want to show the world windsurfers can do. Could be a little better. It's Punta Preta after all. And that's why you see these scores, because what's possible here in the 10-point range, don't even get me started. All right, there's another exchange, and maybe this set's a little better. You know, perhaps the level of wind is creating some roll and chop double up potential, wind swell extra boost. All right, Grand Guillaume, just like he needed to, got on a good one. This one's much better. This has got potential. Find the lip, Grand Guillaume, come on. Right under there. Good cutback. Ishii behind him like a scout. Ishii's lining something up. Bottom turns under the lip and gets a good hit. Hit of the heat. Ishii's definitely in range here. Is there another one after it? Nice one-hander lunar lander. It does kind of look like the moon with all these rocks around here. Here we go. Ishii's still going. Runes opens up. You can see him opening up shop. Ishii just wanted off the rocks, so he kind of heli-tacked out onto a rock. His favorite one, kind of the softer green one. 8 times. Contact. Flachet going fishing. Loosen the trucks on the skateboard. Too nearly floppy. Not quite so the wheels are hitting the deck, but basically so that you're screeching the wheels every turn. Get those plastic fins out. 17 minutes and change to go here. Yeah, I think the spectators are having a good time. It's a spectacle, you know. Cheers to all the spectators. Cheers to all of you watching at home. Thanks for interacting with whatever comments you have of what's going on. I'll put my eyeballs on him in a second. Maybe you have time for a commercial? We've got to do that. Pay our bills. Be right back. And to elaborate a little bit about SOMWR and their stance on stuff like sale stickers and jerseys, at least. No contest sale stickers. It's a lot of plastic, yo. And we're going away from that on a worldwide scale. And jerseys, Lycras, 100% cotton. You can't, you can't just throw those away because the event's over. I know I used to sell my jerseys at a high price. Oh, wait, whoops. Oh, sorry. Anyway, so Ishii got a 6.8, and he is in double digits. Let's see a replay of Ishii's wave. Takara Ishii on the RRD rig. No problem. We have time. I do feel like that highest score of the heat should definitely get a replay. We've got time while these guys are pretty much settling the last part of this heat here. We've gone 40 minutes. We're getting into the last bit of it. 14 minutes and 55 seconds to go. Runez in second. He's fending off Flachet and Granguiol. And the margin is kind of increasing. Here we go. Here is Ishii's wave. Drop it. Behind the peak. And this thing came right to him. You get under the lip like Josh. And you get a good looking bottom turn into the hook there. All right, we got a special guest here. Very special guest. I'm going to let you guys guess before I turn the mic on. Who do you think I got here? Okay, guess again. Ricardo Campello, V111. It's only 3 ones. I was going like 10 ones.
Yeah, Robbie Nash.
That's where I was going with that.
Yeah.
Ricardo, I'll start right away with your sponsorship with Nash, and I want to sing the highest praise possible to the organization of Nash for picking you up. They've really done you right, and I'm really happy to see you with a sponsor that supports you the way they do. You can elaborate.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the relationship that I have with the whole Nash team right now. Actually, that was a nice turn.
Yeah, Flachet getting it done.
Wow.
Interesting drone angle.
Yeah, nice second turn.
Yeah.
It's pretty side short today, I must say.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's gonna be a high scoring wave. Oh,
Yeah.
top of the rocks, get out of there. Oh.
Nice angle, kind of gives you the idea. It's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, we shared a truck today, Ricardo, and I got to take a good look at your boards and your situation. You're very quivered up. You go through a lot of gear, but I don't see you going through as much gear anymore. I think the stuff's holding up to the Campello punishment.
Yeah, it's actually holding up pretty well, although we still didn't really see the real Ponta Preta happening yet, so I'm prepared for that. But I'm happy that still holding up pretty good, and my last wave I came through the rocks, but when it's small like this, it's pretty mellow. And yeah, I was just trying to get a hold of my board. And oh, that was a good wave. Is that?
Yeah, no, look, Flachet just leaped Runez on that last wave, and it was kind of hard to tell with the drone angle, the wave size.
How many waves have you caught? Is that one?
No, it's two scores.
Okay.
Right, we're all at 2 waves here. Everybody's got multiple, so this is all these final scores are combined 2 heat 2 wave totals. Look at these lines, Ricardo. Like you said, it was more side shore. I was out for a little bit with you guys, and Punta Preta, when it's like this side shore, it's much more approachable to ride these smaller waves.
You can actually see everyone turning. On the previous days, the wind was much more offshore.
Yeah.
So you didn't really see many people turning, just like hitting the lips and going for airs. And now it's much more it's much easier to go and actually do the whole thing, you know, and that's what you want to see. I think the judges want to see a little bit of turning as well.
Yeah, I think they're getting it. I just feel like the sets need to keep rolling in. I don't think we can keep relying on these knee-high waves. That's the cutoff. We got to get, head high. And, just what I asked for there looks like a set. And Flechet's the only guy in the game.
Missed the first one.
And we don't really know for sure what that looked like outside of the drone. Let's go back to land angle if we can, briefly.
From our angle here, it looks like...
Yeah.
No, it's not going to...
Right. You see, that's the thing. It's a little deceptive from the drone both ways. It looked like, Flechet's first wave.
No, you see?
He kicked out. That wasn't the one. And maybe there's like 3 more coming in. It's the size potential that has me. This is actually... Runes is on a good one. And the drone angle is making it easy for us to see the overall scope of the action. It's a little hard on the wave size, but let's keep it here. And Ricardo, take this Runes wave away.
It looks like it's going to open up. And, in the beginning, the bad side of it today is that the beginning is a little choppy compared to the normal days, but at least the wave is opening up. But like I said, like it happened earlier, actually, Takara is on a wave.
Yeah, Ishii, kind of a below sea level look. It's you go from the drone to the land look, and you really get the scope of it. How shallow it is when you're looking at it like this, and you're out of there.
That's definitely not the set wave you're looking for. Especially with how the judges are looking to get the set waves. They're scoring way higher than just a regular wave. But honestly, it's frustrating if you're out there with 4 guys, and especially if you're against two really light guys that they're playing like as if they had a foil, and the sets is not your way, and you have to be going back and forth, and you really know that the waves, the judges are scoring the set waves.
Got it. I mean, the battle between Runes and Flechet is the real deal. This is for, the right to go on in this contest. Stuff getting a little scrappy. Back to Nash really quickly. I want you to tell everybody out there listening, what the kit you're on and the design or the name, give me your quiver, board and sail.
Well, we kind of redesigned the whole Nash Force 4 together with Niels and Robbie and Mickey. I felt that I needed a little bit more power on the wave, on the sail to go all around, to have an all-around sail.
There goes Ishii.
Oh, there goes Taka.
Bing!
Nice. Oh,
that would have been really nice if he made it.
Oh, he still made it.
He did make it. Well, thanks for making it.
Oh, he made it, but I don't know if they're going to...
Grand Guiol swinging for the fences. He's got to go for broke here, but not quite the same thing. I would really be amazed to see the Ishii replay because I wrote him off. He basically disappeared, Ricardo, and the whitewater just kind of barfed him back up.
Yeah. These kids are actually ripping.
I agree. Do you think that they actually are doing better in this situation, not being all, Punta Preta regulars? I mean, Ishii came here early, but they didn't sail Punta Preta until the contest started.
They didn't, but actually the Japs, man, the Japanese, they really go for it. In Maui, they were taking the big sets and hitting the section, and they're really going for it. And yeah, I'm sure if it was a classic Punta Preta day, they would be going for it as well. So maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. So back to the Nash Force 4. Do you use any other type of sails, 3 batten or 5 batten? You stay with 4.
I have a Force chopper, sorry.
Replay.
That I like. There he goes. Perfect
Okay,
timing.
watch this.
Wow,
he looks back.
Nice. Landed a little bit too high on the wave.
I mean, that's
bounced.
crazy he
but
made that.
Still made it.
That's unfortunately, it was like the one thing he did.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, keep going.
I have a 4.8 and a 5.1. I didn't bring the 5.1 here, but I have a 3 batten chopper. I actually love it when it's lightly breeze offshore, side off conditions. I really enjoy sailing with that sail, and to me, I think it spins fast if you want to do like air takas and stuff like that. But I have it as a backup in case I break my 247s.
There you go.
But it's a sail that I would definitely, I prefer to stick to the one I'm used to 100%. But in general, my sail of choice is the Force 4, and they are working really amazing in all the conditions, even onshore, side off, everything. even freestyle, you can do a little bit on that as well. And yeah, I mean, we had COVID in a way was bad for many people, but I have to say on my side it was pretty good because I spent a lot of time on the loft working with Niels and Mickey and testing sails, and we get out there and test it, bring back to the loft, make a little bit of a change, and then go back on.
Got it. Here's Runes and I believe Flechet about to have an exchange, and this is your exchange here.
Oh no.
Now Runes really needs to scrap together a score here with 6 minutes to go. Can he get a good air?
Oh no.
He's going to make a connector air, and Flechet behind him on the better wave. Little bit of, you know, standing up riding there.
That was a better timing than Runes, I have to
Better
say.
timing than Runes, but not a longer wave and probably not a score that's going to differentiate. Now Ishii upped his score total to 12, and he, you know, got a 5 for that one, you know, air.
Where's his wave on the score? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he got a 5 and a 7 for that really nug that he ripped. You weren't here for that.
But
and Flechet, just so you know, now that we're looking here,
4-5 and
4-5, and I guess his other high score
3-12.
3-12. I mean, the door's wide open for Runes. He's totally capable with a 4 and a 3 to get into this, but you got to get on the wave. That's job number 1, and looks like someone else has one. Is this none other than Grand Guiol? It is. Ooh, big moment for him, Ricardo.
Yeah, he's a ripper actually. He sails. I've always seen him sailing on more portac conditions, and he sails really good. He goes really big, and looks like he selected, you know, not the set wave, but it actually had a little bit of a wall all the way in the inside. But yeah, today the wind is on the inside. There is no wind on the wave, so you want to try to avoid the inside part.
4-wave set, Ricardo. Upper part of the reef. Flechet's on the first one. There's 3 waves behind it.
That's a good set.
Leans into his turn, gets a good straight cutback. Yeah,
he's really turning nice. I like that. I like his turn. Complete.
All right.
Renes bailed in the back. Renes out.
Yeah, Runes bailed on that one. I was
a good
waiting
turn.
for him to come in. Yeah, it was a good turn. I agree.
Money turn was the first one to me.
Here goes Runes. He decided for this one. So Runes
Good call
pumps,
on him on waiting.
and here he goes. He's going to drop in right at the peak, maybe a little bit behind it. There's that bottom turn chop you were talking about, Ricardo.
Oh,
Bam.
nice as well.
Pieces it together. Fade line bottom turn. This might be the difference maker. He's got to seal the deal on this. Hit something. Bam.
Nice.
Runes making contact
Ishii in the back.
in the clutch. This exchange right now, and this whole heat comes down as Ishii just bats it, drop kicking this wave. It's Runes versus Flechet that is the thing to be decided here with 3:49 left. Runes still going.
Yeah, I think Runes.
Oh, Runes might be looking at one of the higher scores here. We lost track of Runes, and he snuck to the inside, not quite Santa Maria. Hey, but to the Punta Preta burger joint, though. He might have gotten some fries with that one. He might have gotten fries with that burger.
Yeah, he got a combo.
He got a combo.
maybe a Coke as well.
No ketchup, though.
No ketchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, not yet. Maybe later this afternoon.
Maybe later. We got a whole thing coming. Let's see.
At least the waves are more consistent now than the first days. It was really frustrating because you was sitting there and sitting and no waves were coming, and now I think this heat had about 3 sets, right?
Yep. Flechet definitely knows he's in a battle. Has no idea, you know, if he's in third or second or what. But he's got to keep swinging. Is that a difference maker, Ricardo?
No. Compared to the last wave, no.
No, sir.
I don't think so.
It's not. And there's kind of, tell me this, Ricardo, like, you get on waves to get other people off of waves. Let's admit it. Okay, I do it. You do it. Okay, and that plays in right now. Because, you know,
yeah, unfortunately,
Runes comes in. Runes is in second.
Unfortunately, we don't have priority rule.
That's a tough one, and this would be one of the places you could do it. But I promise you, at the end of the day, this place really does sort itself out. The way Punta Preta works is that you have to kind of show that you figured it out and get on the right waves. And yeah, priority comes into it because there is a debate about who's closer to the peak and who's further upwind. I mean, This isn't Gran Canaria after all.
Exactly.
No, we're sailing wind swell.
Maui, it's different to Maui as well.
Absolutely different to Maui. And the thing to me, you know, closest to the peak might rule the day when we're free sailing. But then, you know, we get a lot of situations with other windsurfers and kiters who just go further out and, you know, might have the line. It's a bit debatable. I'll go as far as to say that it's played itself out pretty cleanly here. And let's talk about Runes here, who scrapped his way back into that heat.
His score?
His score for sure is over 5 something. Let me speculate here. It is a 5-1-2. 5-1-2 and a 4. So he put it together. Ricardo, that, you know, the connecting part, but he had already done the work on the upper section. He was probably looking pretty good. I mean, maybe a little bit of that extra 1.2 came after the rest of the ride. Yeah, let's get a replay on Runes if we can.
I think that first turn was actually pretty sick, and then
Nice.
maybe the third one he kind of hit it.
Yep.
But you can see there that he didn't really have wind on the sail.
Yeah, exactly. Ishii taking it apart. Grangio's lining one up on the outside. There's a 2-rider exchange here. Oh, that's the replay. Sorry.
Yeah. Now it's live, right?
Okay, Grangio, all the marbles.
A little bit pushed out.
Once again, first wave of the set.
He took the wrong one.
Whatever he can get, though, I think he's just looking. I finally got on a wave. I got to do this. Okay, I'm going all the way to Santa Maria for sure.
All the back wave.
Flechet going for broke. There's just not a whole lot of time.
Man. Get out. That's not going to give you any score. Unfortunately. Oh, he's on the rocks. He can probably make it if there's no sets behind.
There are sets behind Ricardo.
At least it's windy, so he can maybe stand up quick. It's done anyway, right? The time? How long left? Oh, no, it's red flag.
Heat's over. Been over.
No,
so
40 seconds to go.
No, it's red. It's done.
So who advanced? Ishii and Reines, right?
Ishii and Runes are through. Man. Well, I don't see any get up. I think Duncan's going to keep running. And yeah, Ricardo, let's do another one here. Hang out. Thank you for your
I'll do
help.
one more and then ring my back. Well, I still got a while though.
Yeah, but don't get burnt out sitting in here. You know, do some sit-ups or something.
Oh, man,
Ishii with a really good heat. Talk to me about what you see this guy do. You understand these guys mean business, right? I mean, they're going to Pozo for 3 months after this.
Man, those guys are like a machine. All the Japanese, especially his brother. I'm surprised his brother didn't make it. His brother is a little ripper. His brother is a little bit younger than him, and he charges as well. He goes jumping big, and yeah, these guys are dangerous. Actually, they're pretty, pretty consistent on the water. They know what to do. They feel like a machine, like a Japanese machine.
Okay, we're gonna go to replay here. That's Grangio's last wave. You saw the desperation. Like, please just be a super nice logo high wave, and it's not. And no matter how many times you go to Santa Maria, you might not get your burger.
I feel him, man. I was in his position.
You could at least give him some fries.
Yeah, maybe a hot fudge sundae.
Hot fudge sundae just for consolation because this contest's over.
Oh.
And Flechet, unfortunately, his contest is over too.
At least, right?
That's the way you bow out. You go down swinging. It's not the judge's fault. It's easy to blame the judges, but that had nothing to do with the judges. And that's what I'm saying, Ricardo, is that Punta Preta is kind of deciding this. It's the wave selection, the most important thing today. Here we go.
Probably, yes.
Yes.
Obviously, it will depend on you, what you do on that wave. But
right.
Marino
all right,
is
heat 17.
Well. Boom.
Mariano, right?
Marino.
Marino, Gil Girardi.
He's a scary one in Pozo.
Talk to me about scary anywhere. And low boom rider. Look at that boom, Ricardo. It's nice and low. It's down by his chest.
I would say it's lower than he normally
Really? That's lower than normal. Punta Preta showing up here. Oh, this is a really nice set.
That's a beautiful
Antoine Albert on the first one.
Oh, he's too early. Come on.
He got on a hooter.
Oh, nice. See, sometimes you get the set. Oh, no way.
Wow.
Flechet, brother. Oh, that was
that's
nice.
Flechet.
That's
Another
a nice
Flechet.
wave.
That was getting thrown off. He got on a really super good one. This one's not done. And then Pons on the outside.
Boom. Nice. Oh.
There goes Pons. Pons
nice
on the difference
bird.
maker. He's on the rampage coming back. One of the top Spaniards for sure. Definitely got things started here. And behind him, Marino gets another one.
That was a
Pons
good
going
wave.
1-2, and he's got something here. Cool. Yeah.
That's a good wave for
Pons
Pons.
started this heat right.
Oh, Marino.
And Marino kind of didn't.
Wanted for push too much on that turn.
You know, even with a 40-minute heat, Ricardo, it
There's
is.
a lot of time still.
Yeah. But the start is important.
Come on, Pons, get out of there. You're not gonna get any more score.
Yeah. Josep started good. Talk to me about, you know.
That was a good wave for Pons, I would say. He's not really used to sail on starboard tack down the line conditions. I do know that he goes a lot to the north of Gran Canaria and scores some waves there. But that was a 525 wave for Pons.
Beautiful start to the heat. That's a score that
That's
you
a
keep.
keeper probably.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, Pons, you know, feels like he should be, you know, on the upper level of this contest. You're starting the first round of the double. The pressure's on. He's one, you know, somebody who considers himself and should consider himself a world title contender, and it's got to start right here. There's no throw out this year, Ricardo. This is everything counts starting right now. And Punta Preta's showing up because here's another set. And wow, this heat's been a bit better. I mean, just right off the bat, I can say that the wave size, you know, potential seems to kind of be skewed here. Pons in first place, Flechet in second. Antoine Albert, you know, don't I remember him on a pretty good wave, and he got far ahead of it, you said? Kind of got that one turn and set it up. It's, you know, you get that one wrong turn and you set it up wrong, and it's done. And here's Flechet again. Take it away.
That looks like it's gonna not the set wave, but I don't know. I would get out of there.
Yeah, he's out of there.
Good call. Good call.
No, you know, we're not remote controlling anybody.
Still
but
early days, and you know you don't need to get a risk to go on the rocks and break your gear and break your fins, and can be outside patiently waiting. And Marino was the only one that didn't really score on that exchange, right?
Exactly.
He got the one before the set and missed it.
Yeah, and that's the cycle you can get on here. Sometimes you're on the right train and you're getting sets, and the other time you're just one step away from it. You've got to break that.
That's what happened on my last heat.
Yeah.
But there was much less waves.
Marino Gilgiardi, sponsored by Goya. Antoine Albert, sponsored by Goya. A little friendly fire in this heat. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ricardo, you're the one Nash rider in the draw here? Correct.
Yes, I'm the only one. Henry was going to come. Henry Kohlberg is a young guy from Germany.
He's on Nash.
He's on Nash, yeah.
Okay. Henry Kohlberg.
Henry Kohlberg.
Oh, okay, Kohlberg, not Kohlberg.
Kohlberg, right?
Oh, yeah, Henry Kohlberg. Okay, I thought
he
broke
his foot just before coming here.
Switched.
And yeah, he didn't make it.
Okay.
Hopefully he gets
he got injured.
Quick recovery.
Yeah, we wish you a quick recovery and a good continuation to your year. Great to have a drone in the air. Great to have wind and waves for the most part. Maybe I spoke too soon about how firing it was out there. There's like a set that looked like it was about to break in the 4-foot level, and then I don't know what happened.
I had so much fun just before they started, man. Victor and I was outside and Miguelito Chapuy for like 20 minutes, and there was sets after sets after sets. And yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, pretty fun session. I got one and went in. I kind of needed to be back here, but I squeaked something in. And we're really to get a feeling about the sideshore nature of the waves. What you got? All right, this is Pons' first wave, and it is definitely the best wave that came in so far, and he wraps it all around with this Carlos Sosa board. That's a legendary name in shaping. Carlos Sosa used to make everybody's Pozo boards, Ricardo.
Exactly. He's a legend. He used to do Bjorn's boards as well for a while.
Of course.
With proof.
I mean, everybody. And I remember Josh said something. about his boards is basically like, hey, if you want to contend for a world title and it's going through Pozo, just have Carlos Sosa make you a couple boards. Pons has been on these boards for a while. It's definitely helped him. That was an awesome wave. And here's Marino, who got a little carried away there.
Canary guys use the boom really low, huh?
They do, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a coincidence or... I mean Marino and Pons lives in the Canaries, and they both have a really, really low boom.
Maybe the interpretation, Ricardo, is that the waves are small and that you want to ride lower and crouch more. Here's Antoine Albert kicking out.
In the other hand, Antoine uses a super high.
Yeah.
Antoine Albert uses the boom super.
And where are
high.
you at with that?
I'm not as high as him, I think.
Does it depend on the conditions?
Not really.
Not onshore or offshore?
Maybe onshore I put it a little bit lower.
Okay.
Actually, I don't remember.
But think about like someone like Victor. He's super low.
Super low as well.
Super low. I think there's a leverage equation in every sail design where the sweet spot is somewhere in it, and I think that definitely relates to your boom height. And then that can relate to the conditions because, side on shore you're trying to create a little more forward drive. What you see in the game in Punta Preta is you want to get going early. Sometimes it's harder to get on a plane when you have a low boom. You need to hang from your rig so you create less weight. You get more inertia. And the science behind that today is that, okay, we have maybe a little bit more wind and smaller waves. So I understand the low boom thing. One of my favorite sailors of all time, and I'm sure yours also, Ricardo, Mark Angulo, used a pretty low boom. He used a super low boom. And that's, there's something there. I think with the level of leverage maybe, making stuff that you normally wouldn't make. Ricardo, two-wave set coming in. And here comes Marino on the first one, and Flechet's on the second one, which really looks good down low. Pons and Albert are getting left out of this exchange so far. Take me away on Marino.
Marino selected a little bit. Oh, that was a nice turn. But it was too close to the rocks. When Punta Preta is small, the waves are really close to the rocks, especially on the little ones.
Okay, I got Flechet here who wrapped it around. That's his first turn. Getting another good wraparound turn. Not much below it, but he's got a little contact here. Hits the lip. Hopefully makes it.
Albert is behind.
Yes. Look at Antoine.
He had a nice first turn. Oh, that was a nice one. Yeah. He got a lot of speed, and he was happy with it. You could see it with his body language. But I don't know.
It's kind of the start of his heat.
We didn't see if he did a turn before the camera was filming him, but
I was watching. That was pretty much the first turn.
So it was a two pretty good, powerful turns. I don't know if I think they're probably gonna reward that, instead of doing three little less powerful turns. But you never know with the judges. It's a tricky. And I wouldn't blame them. It's hard to judge over here, I would say, because the waves are long and...
A day like today, it's pretty hard. A little more clear cut on the wave selection side. And I get you, like you're splitting hairs when you've got like perfect 6-foot waves rolling in and what the interpretations are, how you ride something like that. When Punta Preta seems to kind of like slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
5.7 total for Antoine Albert. He really must have had a couple more turns on that. And there he is, leapfrogs into first place ahead of Pons. And Pons is looking for a backup score is what this is, too. Pons is still sitting on his first score. Here's Marino.
That was nice, but the wave's a little bit too small, I think, but still a long way.
Sure.
There's not much space on the inside wave over there, guys. If sometimes it's on the inside where Marino just pulled out. The wind is much more offshore and much lighter, and you're basically on top of the rocks. So there isn't much you can do unless, it's a bigger wave. And it looks like the judges are not really scoring the waves all the way to the beach. So sometimes it's pointless to ride them all the way in. So... no, actually, Albert is 6.08 now. Is that his total score, or just what they
Albert 6.08. I haven't updated on the phone. Let's see.
That's Marino's replay.
Boom, nice bottom turn. At least he made that. I think that's what that low boom is for. Make the wave look bigger.
First turn was all right. And another check turn, and yeah, there wasn't much.
6.08 is the total between a 2.5 and a 3.5 for Antoine Albert. NC21, New Caledonia represent. And second now, Ricardo, second is Flechet.
Oh.
And he just got into second by getting another score, 2.8 and 2.5 counting. So Pons, sitting on his 5, is going to spend the next 28 minutes looking for a wave that's up to his standards. He knows he's sitting on a good score.
Yeah,
and
he still needs
another
backup wave, so he's going to be fine.
He needs to get it, though. You can't keep waiting forever. I don't care who you are. And Gil Girardi, he's hurting for a good score and a good wave, 1.6 and 1.8. So this is kind of now, for him, unfortunately, both getting the wave and the score. You can start letting it run away from you. And that should also serve notice to Pons with the amount of time that's left. Because if you sail too far out, someone like Gil Girardi is going to sneak one under you.
Yeah.
And Punta Preta can't sneak under you. It's not one of those things you always see it coming.
Come on, Marino.
Gil Girardi on a good wave here finally. This one's going to offer him a better chance than most of these waves he's been on.
Looks like it.
It's a little bit higher up on the point. He's going to get under the lip and hit the lip. Points have started. He's got to flow through this section, though, and it doesn't give him the door. He has to kick out. It's another mid-level one, probably.
That's when you start to get frustrated.
Yes. Yes. Here's Flechet suddenly finding himself in second place in this heat, kicking out also with a little bit of a higher standard to things. Now I'm seeing Pons and Antoine Albert on the outside. There you see the exchange, Ricardo. That's Pons on the outside and Antoine Albert on the inside. Albert setting up. This one's coming a little bit more to the middle part of the peak. Pons kicks out, sees an even bigger one, which opens up the door for Marino. But here comes Antoine Albert on a train downtown. Beautiful opening air.
Nice timing.
Marino behind him as the drone captures the down-the-line ride here. There's Marino on by far the best wave of his heat.
Nice.
Beautiful putback. Ricardo
best of the heats. Oh,
getting
nice.
it done.
Oh, yeah,
that's how I remember he can sail. And here comes Flechet behind him, winding up his coil, throwing a little spray, but not too far because he's got a lot of room to cover here as this wave's going to close out. Does he have the hit in him? Gets the hit to floater, no chance, and a giant blow up. That's going to make the highlight reel. I hope he's okay. That was super gnarly. No other action. His rig's in one piece. He kind of goes, ah.
That was on top of the rocks.
Yeah, he probably hit his rig and a rock. Probably worth wearing a helmet.
The two guys on the rocks.
Wow, that's that's a
that's
testament.
my day today.
Both of those guys exit the lineup, and they're not messing around. They're not going to go do the swim right now, even though they both really could and probably should.
I would say Marino's wave was the best wave of the heat. With the two, very nice. The first nice top turn.
He really unloaded it. You're right.
I mean,
in terms of the riding, he's right up there with Pons.
6-1-3, right?
Yeah, but look what happened here with Pons. Is he sat on this whole exchange, sailing out to sea, thinking he was going to find it, and it snuck under him. And worst to first goes Antoine Albert. Oh man, 6.75, and Marino in second place. So Ricardo, you're absolutely right. They're rewarding him. What do you get for that last one? 4.25, right?
Yeah, I guess the scale of the judges is lower today, maybe. But to me, it wasn't a super long wave, but he did the first power turn and then a second perfect timed hit on the lip, and then obviously he got caught in the inside. But
I think the replay will tell you. Between Pons' wave and Albert's wave. Let's see what the actual highest score is. We have a pair of threes for Albert. Gil Girardi 4.25. Pons still has the highest single score, Ricardo.
5.12, right?
Right. So that's really playing into the cards right now. He jumps into first place with a 2-point ride. And he knows this, but he can't wait forever. And that last exchange, you're like, leave the door open if you want, but remember what we were talking about, just getting on waves. I think there's something to be said for kind of staying into the game and staying in the lineup.
That's
Antoine Albert,
right? Yeah, that was his wave that we didn't see it just from the drone.
And he's linking turns. He didn't quite make it all the way through. And I can understand, you know, the mid-level
That's
score. Here's
Marino's wave. Look at that first turn. Boom. Nice. And now the perfect hit. Boom again. That's for sure. To me, that was the best wave of the heat. What do you think?
I think Pons' wave was more complete. What I think you're trying to say is that those were the best turns of the heat.
Yes.
And it seems like that to me.
Yeah.
I agree with you there. I don't think it was the highest score, though. Best turns, yes. It's splitting hairs otherwise. You know, I definitely see where you're coming
Pons
from.
is on the wave
All
behind.
right, Pons waited for this, and Ricardo, let me tell you, he waited for a good reason, because this is a good runner that he positioned himself perfectly for. Now he's got to do the business and get under there and get some board contact under the lip. Not quite. This thing's still got the lower section. He has every reason to keep trying to go. Come on, Josep, get on your horse. Rail engagement on the inside, right through the inside rocks, your favorite part, Ricardo, right there. And there he goes. He's going to get his score that he was looking for, no question about it. With an empty lineup behind him, you know, maybe the Santa Maria Express wasn't totally necessary. He could have gotten first into the lineup there, but he is downtown and safe. Wow, man, the door's wide open. There he goes. Pons backing it up. Smart competitor with an air at the end. This is going to bonus him out.
All the way to the beach.
What is he just going to go, you know, shower off and go to his truck now? And
Maybe he's going to get his hot fudge sundae.
He's going to get his hot fudge sundae.
He's tired.
He's certainly back in the lead. We'll see what the score is real soon here. It's going to drop within seconds.
I still prefer his first wave, though.
I agree. I think his
More
first
connected.
wave, you know, was better. But, you know, listen, in the scores of, like, you're just, like, scoring points, he did what he needed to do. Yeah. I know. A 9 total. So Pons dropped a good score there. And it's a 3.88, just about exactly what you were saying, Ricardo.
Seems a fair score.
Yeah. Seems
you
like
see,
a fair
they're
score.
not judging if you go all the way to the beach.
No, but it's like that little difference, like half a point.
I mean,
And
I
that
don't know.
you have to question if that's even, you know, worth it. Yes and no. I mean, in a heat where you're behind by 0.10, you got to, you know, rule talk. I mean, think about the final when Brasinho might have made a goiter.
To me, that was that wave was
The one
way
that he
under.
didn't make. The one that he didn't make could have been the difference maker in the heat. I'm not talking about your opinion on the 5-5.
I don't remember.
Okay, but there was a wave he didn't make a goiter.
Is that now or is replay?
This is replay. And that's Flichet getting ahead of it a little. You can see the rail work is aimed a little bit to the wave that didn't really give him the contact points. He was always a little bit ahead of it. Let's go to replay RC. Take it away. Pons' second wave, 388.
That's you see that the first turn on the previous wave was much better, but the wave really opened. That was a money turn on that wave to me.
Put him a little deep.
He was a little deep, yes.
But he pulled it off.
He did, but
He wanted the burger, fries, and the sundae.
yeah, I mean, was a complete wave, I think. What does Duncan say?
Can't
See?
quite hear it. Can't quite pay attention to it. I think he is kind of getting to the point where maybe this heat's going to count and he's going to wait. Maybe he feels like the high tide factor is
Let me read on the.
a little too much. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if he lets this heat go, counts it, and then takes a break. And we really have that luxury right now. I'll tell you why, because Ricardo, dude, what about tomorrow's forecast, bro? Like, if this is happening now, we were like scraping.
So now even more positive.
Oh yeah, look, I consider myself an optimist, blind optimist. I mean, I won't fly here for nothing. But you know what? Like, that scale has changed, and if this is happening now, and the swell is like, you know, 13-second period and 1.5 or something, tomorrow's like 2.2 and 20.
21, yeah.
21-second period. Hello,
Oh yeah.
Punta
I really
Preta.
hope I climb up
Marino.
and sail a lot.
Marino
Nice
Gilgerati.
Marino has a really good timing, actually. Oh, the rocks. He's actually ripping on his waves, but it's not the waves that, you know, that the judges want to see, the set waves.
Yeah, but you know what it's a sign of? It's a sign that he's getting desperate.
Yeah.
He decided that I have to do everything I can, desperation. And you play it like Ponce, you know, who really waited for that second score.
Yeah.
And now he needs to make sure that nobody takes the, you know, the door has to get shut here. And that the only way you do that, other than finding a good wave and getting a good score, is getting on waves. And maybe, you know, you want to do it the old-fashioned way and just beat people with your sailing, but you got to be tactical here.
It looks like Ponce has the cycle on him. And Marino maybe doesn't really have the cycle on him, but if he waits patiently, he can get a set and switch those.
Yeah. Imagine Marino getting a good wave and then getting the job done. Like you've been saying, these good opening turns, but then a little banger at the end.
Yeah.
He's right there, 6.88 to a 7. That's, you know, that's an eyebrow away.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Flechet,
actually, look at Flechet,
who was sitting in second, is right there too. And so the moral of the story is anybody can take first place here with the right wave and the right moment. Here's Flechet live and direct at Punta Preta on his hot sail.
How's that wave
scanning
looking
it
from that angle?
It's looking like a good one, Ricardo, and I think he's on here. Go ahead.
It's a little too forward, maybe. Well, it looks like he's not gonna give him what he needs, but
This thing has a longer line on it, though. It's going down. It's going down low.
Looks to be in a better wave behind, but
They're comparable.
oh,
Pons on the upper part
Yeah.
is going to find out that he's a little deep on a little inside right now. He's got a lot of work to do here. Boom goes Ponce, the aerial wizard of Pozo. Second hit, getting it from way, way up the point, kicks out. And got on a wave, and let's see if it's
Not
better
gonna
than
be
a
a keeper.
388. I don't
Not
know.
gonna
I have
be
a
a-
hard time with it.
You
I don't
he's
think it's a
gonna be
different picker.
No? No.
And if the judges, you know, look at it, the positioning and the quickness of it in the aerials, maybe, you know, it's 388. I mean, where do you go from there? 4. You know, 388's like an okay score. 4 starts becoming like moderately good. And yes, the scale here, Ricardo, you sailed Epic Punta Preta before.
Yeah.
Like 10-point ride at Punta Preta is like the dream video game of all time. 5, you know, hooks under the lip, 2 airs, and a big, you know, last hit at the least. What we're seeing here is, you know, the first level of Punta Preta.
Yeah.
Bare minimum Punta Preta.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the Punta Preta we all want to see.
No.
Especially with the previous years that we had here. The final with Josh and Kaoli was another level, and I think we're gonna get that tomorrow, hopefully. But maybe was a good call for Duncan to start at least the first round, maybe the second, and get heats going in case something's changed tomorrow on the forecast, or you know we run out of time. Because it's tomorrow and the next day, right? I think the forecast is looking good for tomorrow and the next day, so we are all looking forward to have that classic Ponta Preta day and at least bring that Ponta Preta shot at home too.
Yeah, like I said, Duncan, you know, we had a long conversation here. I was like, don't get carried away just because you can keep running. Okay, the first round or the first heat. I have the feeling this first round goes, as long as the scores go, and, you know, then it's not time to keep going right now. I think we need to have a little bit better level. We need to have some trust in the forecast. Listen, I mean, like, the further along we get, the higher the level of the riders are being, you know, sent out. The conditions have to match that. By the time we get back to, you know, the top 8, we have to look at this as like the pinnacle of the contest. And it traditionally has been the case that you get these like glory first rounds, and then everybody remembers some crappy final that happened in the second round. It's anticlimactic. I'm not trying to defend any of the top 4, but it needs to be, you know, better than this if we're going to get to the top 8.
Exactly.
And I think Duncan understands that.
Yeah,
There's no mystery.
He's been doing good calls, actually.
He has.
Obviously, on my heat, I was a bit upset, but it's not his fault. I was just out of sync with the sets, and yeah, but there was another heat as well that I thought it should have been canceled because there was no waves and was pretty much dark. But it is what it is, and yeah, as you can see, Marino is is going back out, and it looks like he's gonna get the set next time, because from what I can see here, there's a set coming, and he's the guy, not the furthest out, but he's gonna get it. And Fléchet saw it and jibed, and it looks like Ponce is on a wave, right? Is Ponce riding a wave? Black sail? No, Ponce also went out. So, looks like there's something at the back. Is that right, Kai?
Something, but not much. I'm scanning it, and it's kind of in this flat-looking moment. I mean, there's little lines coming in. Maybe this is kind of the moment where the swell's bending more north, and we're going to get a little shift. We also got to be getting kind of close to high tide. We are. It's 1:41. So we're almost at peak high tide. All of a sudden, wow, that was like hours away not too long ago. Here we are, and it's really, really close to, you know, we can see the shift.
What did he say? What did he say? I just hope he didn't make the heat short. Oh, really? Postponement after this heat, he said? Okay.
I think we heard Duncan saying that we are going to halt competition after the end of this heat.
Yep.
Meaning that we are going to stop running and monitor the situation, and it sounds like he'll count this heat, though.
Yes, this heat will be counted.
There's enough scores.
Yeah, and I think it's, again, a good call on Duncan, because high tide now, and
Right at high tide. 1:42 in the afternoon here in Cabo Verde. And Punta Preta, just for all of you at home, while we watch a replay, a little bit of a body of work here. Marino Gil Girardi on his Goya rig, low boom status. You know,
how
early
much
on.
did he get for that wave?
I can check. I think it's just kind of an overview of each rider's body of work here. Fléchet with that kind of a little bit ahead of it. There was better ones he had. Here's Pons, not his best wave of the heat either.
I feel like Ponce is doing better turns than what he used to, but I feel that he needs a little bit more speed on the water, you know.
Okay, we're back to live from the drone angle. Marino Gil Girardi setting up for a good one, Ricardo. Ponce kicked out of the first wave of the set, wisely so. Not where he needs to be. That was really smart of him. Marino, however, is going to scrap and claw and scratch and tear into this wave in a really deep position to make a difference here. He got a really good turn there. Ricardo vertical with that low boom profile. Another highline snap. Pons is behind him. Pons has a really good one too. These are the upper looks that a north swell gives you. Pons puts the whole rail in the wave.
Nice turn, Pons.
Nice turn from Pons. And he's not done, but he's done.
See, sometimes the set waves looks really nice from the outside, and then there's one section and that's it.
We're transitioning. And, you know, the thing about what I was explaining there, upper right-hand of your screen, Monteleo going out of the picture there, is the swell angle, Ricardo. And if it's going north, it's going further up the peak, and it is going to make these rides shorter. You can make up for that when you have long period swell and some size, but it's kind of the look we're going to get, I think, is this upper peak Punta Preta, where, you know, the opening hit's going to be super important to the ride, and then being able to maybe pick apart and read some of the waves that go lower, because it's not the same thing going all the way through.
Marino's
now.
on the wave.
Ooh,
good selection.
He sure is.
He has to keep coming upwind, because that's actually a wave that is going to open up. While I was sailing, I got those waves, and it was the best ones.
This is a Ricardo wave right here. Yeah, you got a bunch of these.
Nice aerial. Keep on going.
Antoine Albert behind him.
Marino, well, He was a bit
Oh,
behind,
Marino
so-
lets it go by him. Antoine
Antoine's
Albert goes to town. This is his first bottom turn. Big moment in this heat for Albert. New Caledonia's contender in this, and he goes out the back. No.
Hey, he missed it.
Does
That
not
was a-
rhyme with go, or does it? It was no instead of go.
That was actually the best wave, one of the better waves of the heat, right?
Ricardo, for both of those guys, totally bogged their opportunities.
Yeah.
And I don't, I have nothing to say about low boom, high boom, but sometimes that low boom loses your momentum.
Yep.
And I see when it works, and I don't want to blame the boom, bro, but both of those guys are kicking themselves and running down the beach with 8.5 minutes to go. He's just wondering why he did that. And outside, all alone, is Josep Pons on another good-looking hit here. He's got to get a little bit closer to the peak. Not going to get hustled by Flechet. No, none of that. But Pons fades back into it now. He's fading into the left part. Flechet's behind him. Pons kicks out. He's like, nope, I'm not going to go on that one. Didn't need
Why
it.
did you kick out? Well,
He
yeah,
kicked
did.
out. He's not going to get a higher than a 3A8.
Flechet is on a good one.
Flechet
Looks like
might
it.
steal this. This has a super long line on it, and Albert
Albert
outside of
behind.
him is on an absolute crispy one. Oh, yeah. Look at Flechet.
no,
This is a
too early.
difference maker, Ricardo. This is a clean green African wall machine.
Yeah, but he's too early on the wave, I think. Oh,
Albert on the
good
outside.
wave.
Picturesque. Look at this exchange. Flechet going to town, Ricardo.
Pons is the one in the back.
Pons is on the back. Next wave, please.
The one behind. Bill.
There we go.
Oh.
Bing! Perfect timing. Thank you. Pons gets in the action.
We missed that.
Yeah, but just at the end, he got the opening hit. And here goes his second air. Pons arguably might be on the wave that goes beyond that score. He's halfway to Santa Maria.
That was good.
He's still going. Oh, man.
Anything, Kai?
Yeah. There's nothing but action in the lineup, and Albert's the only guy there. So this is a case in point. If you're not, winning the heat, Marino's getting through the shore break, but he's not in the game.
Marino is second now. Marino is second.
Okay, Marino gets into second. But here's the danger, Ricardo. Albert's got the lineup to himself. He's got 6.5 minutes, and there's a set. And Albert knows it, and it's not much. Albert's going to need, a mid-level 4 to take the heat.
Albert has
away.
2 3.5s, and Marino got a 4.5 and a 378. Would be amazing if it would be good for Marino to, better that 378. But let's hope he has time to get out there and get another set wave.
Everybody has time. I need to see Marino in the lineup. I do. Everybody's out. All 4 sailors entering the lineup. Albert, I thought, was going to have his pick here, and he actually still does. As a set is approaching, wave off the replays. This is going to be an exchange here. And check it out, Ricardo. You can't see what I see, but, stand up and look. You see this lower line here. And this is what's coming into play here, is that Albert's outside, 3-wave stack. Flechet and Pons entering it, but they're not in contention for this. Antoine Albert is all by himself by definition.
But it didn't really. You see, that was a 2-set wave, and Albert's wave looks like he's not really gonna open up.
It looked better on the outside. You're right. He's probably even maybe kicking out of this.
Wave, but probably not a keeper.
We'll see.
Oh,
Let's
he
not.
didn't make it. He didn't make it.
He saw himself too deep. So basically, going next announcement once it's time. And we'll see what Duncan actually decides. But this heat's about 4:40 left. And we definitely will wait for the next announcement from head judge Duncan Coombs as to when this is going to resume. But we'll be taking a break right after this. Thank you for joining me, V111 Campello. You can stay. Don't go anywhere. I was just thanking you.
He said something else now, but I don't know.
Oh, he said your heat's coming up next. It's amazing the things I can do here in the chair.
I want to go.
Hey, rig up already.
I had a good session.
Yeah, it was.
What?
Oh, okay. Just, you hear it in the background on my mic. It's just Duncan talking about heat duration. And that's maybe some of the factoring that will change. As we have a set approaching, Antoine Albert doesn't see it. Marino Gilgerardi sees it, Flechet sees it, and Ponce sees it. Unfortunately for Albert, he's gone halfway to Monteleo looking for a 10-footer that's not going to happen. And these waves sneak under you. Flechet, danger, danger right here. Big danger. Flechet has a really nice wave. This thing's cornering in proper north. This has to be the new swell, Ricardo. This is a whole new angle to it.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And that's what we're going to start seeing tomorrow and later today. Ponce on an absolute gem of a wave behind him. Beautiful. Flechet, again, really reading the down-the-line aspect of this. It's a little smaller than the last time. Ponce goes for a hero hit and makes it.
I didn't see that.
Full contact, Ricardo. Really good for Josep. And now he kind of gets bobbled, does a little backside body surfing. Nothing he could do. And nothing he should be too worried about either.
Well, he said.
We're trying really hard to hear what's going on with Duncan.
I'm gonna go check, get the time. All right, guys, was
Thanks,
good.
Ricardo. Yeah, stay in the game. Thank you so much, really, for helping. And give me the headset. You don't need to check Duncan with the headset. You're an all-time shredder, buddy. Good luck, huh?
Thank you.
V111, Ricardo Campello. No. Well, you'll win your world title. You'll get an extra one. And that's not out of the question, let me tell you. Good job, Nash. You picked up a keeper. You just got to manage him right. I know you can. All right, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Ponce in first, straight up 10 total. Gil Girardi, big story in this heat. Somebody who... Gil Girardi, somebody who definitely had a hard start to this heat. And let's run the... No, Gil Girardi's on a wave. No. And this is the story I'm talking about. Gil Girardi's in second place. And he may or may not know it. But he's playing a bit of keep away, but he's also understanding, you get a bit in touch with your body of work and what you've gotten done. And with all four sailors in this heat sailing out, a pretty decent wave sneaking under, Gil Girardi's like, no way I'm letting this thing go through. Not when a high three's going to save my day. Great angle here. It really gives you an idea of where you are on the point. The upper part of it, and he heads to town. Yeah, Ricardo, joining us is a luxury, and what you all at home are going to benefit from here are the insights from the competitors. In Ricardo's case, he's well in this contest. It'd be asking a lot for people to, give their time and mentally prepare here on a live stream. It's a lot of work, trust me. All right, Antoine Albert with a Flocka. That's 2 in a row. Flocka Goiter combo unwound 2 in a row. That's a big score, you guys. Do they see through it and was more as this like freestyle thing, or were those wave moves? And I honestly tell you, this is massive danger here. I don't see how you can underscore this too much. I will elaborate. There is a narrow margin between Gil Girardi and Albert, specifically a 7 to an 8.28. But let's talk about the scores. 3.5 and 3.5 for Albert. Was that better than a 3.5 when he went back-to-back? There's Gil Girardi. Excuse me, we're live with Flechet. Gil Girardi's down the line on this wave. This is your exchange. Flechet on the better wave of this. Gil Girardi further down. Another super pivotal moment here. You blink, you missed it, but this is, now the point being that when we get Albert's replay and Gil Girardi just went to town to try and close the door on him, heat's done and dusted. What do we have here? What's going to be the update? 2.88 for Albert on the double. Yep, okay. Yep. I think it's being approached, you know, a little bit more as an off-the-face freestyle type of move. I'm not going to get sucked into that debate. I was really impressed with Albert for being able to do that. Are they going to flip the scores? Do we have our final scores? I'm almost certain we do. So he didn't surpass his 3.5s. And maybe that's perfectly accurate. 1.5 for Gil Girardi's last wave. There's no way that's a 1.5. So let's see here. Let's update. Are they still calibrating scores? 3.62 for his last ride comes in. Relatively fair. 2.88 for Albert. So, Antoine Albert walking up the beach with a little dismay. 7-point total. Didn't make it. Gil Girardi, 8.28. A really big battle there. Unfortunately for Antoine Albert representing New Caledonia, it's 2 strikes and you're out. NC21 looking on a little bit dejectedly, or is he going to get scored here? Are they waiting to score him? The lineup's empty. The lineup's empty because Duncan's put this thing on hold. And I'm a little groveler, and I'm rigged up. I'll tell you right now. You guys can go to commercial for an hour. I'll go sell Punta Preta right now. But not yet. We need to dissect this because there is a chance that they're trying to score Albert's wave, and they're debating this. He's looking up at the tower. Are you giving me my score, or is it a 2.88? Are they waiting for Antoine Albert's score? Because this is really important due to the fact that Gil Girardi's last wave wasn't one of his keepers. That's been established. So, are they waiting or not? I could use that information. I get the feeling that, you know, everyone's looking at him. Okay. Yeah. What was that, Cliff?
Apparently he's contesting the fact his last score should count and it didn't.
Albert is contesting that it should count, but it was after the horn. There's your story. And they're not giving it to him. He's looking up there. There's video replay at stake. Here's what happens in this situation. If we could get a replay of Albert's wave with the clock, it'll tell us a lot. Okay? And maybe that's asking a lot, and that's just what I'm saying would settle the debate. Because what that comes down to is this. It comes down to, did he get on the wave? Let's go to a different angle if the drone's bogging. Let's go to Albert. Did Albert get on this wave before the horn? And in other words, did he show intent to ride a wave? That's all he needs to show. He can do a half a turn on the outside. He's got the wave. It's going to start the ride. If he gets it before the horn, it counts. If he caught it after the horn, it doesn't. And it's pretty clear cut. So Duncan's explaining it to him. And Albert is absorbing it. And he's walking away because he knows it's done. Antoine, with a really good showing, actually, and it's sometimes you just don't get the buzzer beater. And I'm sure he might not be in the mood right now, but hopefully he can join me in the live stream at some point and kind of dissect that, because he's a stone cold player, and he knows he's a great sailor, and we all know he's a great sailor. And he's got a better one in him. And yes, it might be a little bit of a symptom of the conditions, but I saw him on good waves throughout this heat, and that, you know, tells the story more a little bit than anything. That was a tough one at the end, though. Oh, man. Punta Preta showing up, you know, here and there. We'll see what the decision is. If there's any more replays, Cliff, we can watch them now. Otherwise, we can go to a little commercial cycle. Pawns. Full rail bottom turn. Whew, that was the hero hit. Tail stomper. Pivotal heat for Pawns and pivotal heat for Gil Girardi. Okay, 10-minute break being announced with a little bit of clock calibration. I'm not, you know, exactly sure what it is. I think they're putting some more time on the clock. Ooh. Ooh. It's almost a boom to the face. 1. Okay, was this after the horn? And? Goiter. Man. The difference between a taka and a goiter to me, just by my definition, is that the taka is done off lip contact as a slide cut back through the eye of the wind. And the goiter is a windup of the sail thrown into the pit as you rotate around the sail a little more horizontally. They were both invented roughly around the same time. And your interpretations are welcome at home. That's kind of how I've always looked at it. Here at Punta Preta, the line between the two gets blurred a little bit. I might have been calling a couple goiters takas and takas goiters, and I'm guilty of that, sorry. But, you know, like, trying to be specific. I would definitely need to do some homework if I ever commentated on a freestyle contest. My language would need to be correct on that. But yeah, Albert did 2 in a row on a small wave. Would it have gotten the score he needed had it counted? Needed to be bigger than a 3.5, so we'll never know. Because it didn't get scored. Or at least the score that it got won't be revealed. The nature of competition, you guys. All right. Got through 2 heats. We've got 2 more before this round's done and dusted. We've got all day to do it. I'm sure Duncan's looking at this like, if we get 1 round done today, we're sitting pretty here. Stay tuned. Competition on hold at the SOMWR 2022 PWA Cabo Verde Pro. Be right back.
família, então manda sal para Cabo Verde através do serviço de sal internacional de CV Móvel, onde que pode fazer através de Ding.com ou pode fazer através de mobilecharge.com ou pode localizar pontos de venda que está disponível no país que você está.
Saldo internacional da CV Móvel.
Fica ligado.
The board feels great. It's kind of a bigger waveboard and helps you out a lot on passing the white waters, passing the waves, and like going against the current. In these side onshore conditions, when it's light winds, I'm struggling to do that because of my weight, and on this I felt it's super easy. So I think it's perfect for people to start learning how to wave sail and to jump and wave ride.
We want to make wave riding accessible to everyone in any conditions. Do you want to wave ride even if the wind is light and the currents are strong? The Code 2022 is a free wave board like no other. With volumes ranging from 85 all the way up to 135 liters. This year we have increased the area behind the fin. This gets you lifted up to speed even quicker. To balance it out, we also increase nose area, which creates a smooth ride in choppy waters. And by adding curvature around the foot straps, the new coats improve greatly in maneuverability during bottom turns and power jibes. The 115, 125 and 135 are the best large waveboards we ever made. With a compact shape and thin rails, you'll enjoy tricky conditions and ride more waves, always with enough flotation under your feet.
In the turns you keep a lot of drive, so you don't really slow down even when the wind gets a little bit patchy. And then it's super nice to have big wave boards like that, like for heavy riders like me, to have a lot of flotation and still be able to wave ride in light wind. It's really, really nice.
The 2022 coats come with two fin setups. With the thruster fins you get the most wave performance. But once you switch around to the larger single fin, the board turns into an agile freeride board. More drive, increased agility and quicker. The new 2022 coats are a significant step forward. Are we promising too much? Come and try for yourself.
Somewhere in the summer. SOMWR.
It's somewhere.
Summer.
Somewhere.
Somewhere. Somewhere.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
And become a future fighter.
Yeah, I'm actually a field fighter.
Good.
The Ultra Code. Our wild waveboard comes either with 5 fin boxes, allowing you to choose a different setup for varying conditions, or as Thruster Edition, making it the lightest waveboard we've ever made. A total of 7 sizes are available in Carbon Reflex, a technology with an industry-leading track record of only 1 board broken per 100 boards sold. The thin rails and slight tailgate provide the Ultra Codes with plenty of grip while carving through your turns. The concave bottom shapes allow for quick rail-to-rail transitions, while the shallow tail allows for faster turns. The compact board design gives plenty of control in strong winds and while jumping and flying through the air.
The board is very fast, so it's super easy for jumping. It's very stable. And for surfing also, it's a nice board because you can lean forward and do a nice bottom turn and push a lot in the top turn.
Thick white water, currents, and dodgy wind conditions often slow us down in the wrong moments. But with its fast rocker line combined with an extra thick center line, we ensure the Ultra Code picks up speed quickly. We designed it so you never have to miss a wave and can set up for the next jump even if you have to cross some white water to get to that perfect ramp.
Feels so comfortable either for jumping or for wave riding. When you want to change the rail into the top turn, you don't lose speed and the fins you can release it really well. Also in the jump, you can go really high because the board's shape.
The 2022 Ultra Code is wild, light, and sturdy. Come and ride your next wave with us.